Good morning, welcome to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Gillian Love from the LCBO Millcroft location in Burlington. Nice to be back with you. And okay, so last time we were on, we were talking about ciders and craft beers and making cocktails with them and getting out there and being adventurous. But of course, lots of entertaining going on this time of year. And sometimes it's best to do it in the masses because then you're not running.
Because then you're not making the same drink over and over and over again. It's great to do.
And then you kind of start to lose maybe, like you're not making it as well as you made it the first time.
So make it one big, huge one, and it'll last you for 6 or 8 of your friends, and it'll be great. Yeah. Backyard pitcher drinks are the best.
Yes.
So we've come up with 3 that we're going to look at doing.
Okay.
And they're kind of new and innovative. You can get recipes on the LCBO website at lcbo.com.
Yes, you guys
there
are great
is
recipes.
if you click on the Learn, there's a whole page of recipes that you can come up with, hundreds and hundreds of them actually.
Okay.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to make the mango margarita, and we're making it with tequila. And I just wanted to mention that tequila is made from the agave plant, and tequila is actually a region in Mexico, which is, people don't realize that. They think it's just a drink. And long gone are the days where you do the shot and hold your nose.
No, you need to appreciate a little bit more because they do.
There's so much more complexity in
Chihuahua
tequila.
is also a region too. Did you know that?
Oh.
Chihuahua. Anyway, side note.
Wow, that's interesting.
See, oh, they do. This is what happens. All right, so
okay, so we're doing
back to tequila. I love tequila, so we have to appreciate it. But you can now, when you're mixing it in with a drink.
Yes.
There's always this thing about with tequila, when you're mixing a spirit or whatever it may be. Do you use a really, really good one, or do you use a medium one, or
you can use usually the silver or the silver blanco tequilas are best for mixing because they don't go through any aging process. They're still made with 100% blue agave.
Okay.
Some other tequilas are mixtos, they're called, and they're only 51% of blue agave.
Oh.
But the ones with 100% blue agave, and you can mix or drink on their own.
Okay.
We're using an anejo, which means old. So it's an aged tequila. It's been aged about a year to 3 years, minimum a year. So we're going to be using an anejo tequila and the Saint Germain
love this.
elderflower liqueur.
You introduced me to this a long time ago, and this is I've always loved the elderflower flavor.
It's organic.
Anyway, it's beautiful.
It's lovely. It's fragrant. It's really aromatic. It's great in this drink. So we're going to add, Leslie, I can get you to do that.
Okay, sure.
So here's our little cocktail drink, and we've rimmed it with salt and lime. So you're going to add 1 whole cup of tequila, which is right in the measuring cup at the front.
Right at the front, okay.
So you're going to add that to your pitcher. These are so easy. 1 cup of tequila. You're going to add a 1/2 cup of lime juice.
Okay, that's this right here.
Yep.
Okay.
Then you're going to add a 1/2 cup of the elderflower liqueur, which is, it's all about balance. It's all about sweetness and saltiness and having the right base. And it's all about the balance,
it is
right?
balance, yes.
Then you're going to add 2 full cups of mango juice. So that's going to give it the sweetness.
Okay.
And that is it. Super easy.
Look at that.
Make it up, throw it in your freezer. It'll never freeze because there's alcohol in it. It may turn a little slushy, but it's great in this hot summer.
Delightful.
Summer months. And you can just pour it into your glass.
Okay, so tell me what you rim this with again?
It's lime and salt.
Lime and salt
kosher
together.
Salt
I like
or
that.
heavy coarse salt.
And then you just pour away. So you ready?
Just pour away.
I am a bartender. I am not.
That's
so would you try to get ice in there or no?
You
Does it
could
matter?
if you want.
Okay.
But you can actually throw that all into a blender and mix it up too, which becomes almost a slushy. So that's a lovely alternative to margarita.
Okay, I like that. Very good.
The next one is called the Berry Patch, and I've called it the Berry Patch, the local Berry Patch, because it's all Ontario.
Yes.
So what we're going to basically do is add a whole bottle of sparkling wine. You can add just regular sparkling wine, or in this case I did the 13th Street Rosé.
We'll show that bottle off.
It's still a dry sparkler, but it's got lots of rhubarb and raspberry notes to it, so really delicious. Make sure you use lots of fruit. You can actually turn this into a sangria if you want it, and add a little bit of brandy to it and go through the fermentation of the fruit. But we're going to add very slowly because it is sparkling. We don't want to mess it up. I have a habit of messing things up.
No, you don't. Come on now. Oh,
so there. You spoke too soon, didn't you? All right, so then we're going to add a whole bottle. I'm just going to wait for that to go down. A whole bottle of Framboise, which is Southbrook Farms Framboise, which is a raspberry fruit wine.
So this isn't going to be too sweet again because you said this is quite dry.
It's dry,
so
you're going to
that
mix.
balance
now,
again.
you may want to do a little bigger pitcher than this one, but
sure, I imagine
really,
you want to.
1 full bottle one full bottle into a nice big pitcher. You can top with club soda if you think it's still a little bit too sweet.
Right, okay.
But this is a lovely before
How
dinner.
Easy is that?
Easy, super easy. Yeah.
Love that.
So that's the berry patch.
Okay, very good.
And the next drink we're going to make is called the the punch. We can call it. It's like a fruit punch, basically.
Okay.
This is made with Ciroc, coconut. Now, this is in the vodka category, but it's not a vodka. It's made with distilled grapes. So it's made with, and it's distilled 5 times. So it's very, very clean.
Very clean. Okay.
So we're going to add this, and it's very trendy right now too. So
yes,
it is made with the same grapes they make cognac with, so the Oubli Blanc grapes. And we're going to use some melon liqueur. So
there's so many flavors of liqueurs right now and vodkas. It's off the charts.
It is.
Like we were talking about some of the vodkas. There's, the fluff ones, so it's like
marshmallow
and cotton candy.
There's the Pinnacle vodka, which is made like a cotton candy vodka.
Right.
Those are fabulous in drinks.
But you could just go, you could be so creative.
Very much so.
Very
yes.
fun.
The whole key, though, when you're mixing drinks, is to have the balance. So you want the balance of
because
sweetness.
you don't want the sugar sweet right in your face.
So you have to have a citrus.
Yes.
Always a citrus, always a base, and always a sweetener.
Okay.
So if you get a combination of all of those, then you're good.
All right.
So here we go. So we're going to add 1 cup of the Ciroc.
Okay.
We're going to add, again, half a cup of lime juice. And we're going to add a half a cup of the melon liqueur. So look at that color. It's a lovely color.
Makes it fun already.
And then we're going to add the pineapple juice.
Pineapple. And I love pineapple juice in cocktails. I find it always makes it taste so good. Because we don't drink pineapple juice very often. So when you have it, it tastes
so good.
fancy.
And so you get the sweetness of the pineapple juice, the tartness of the lime, the lovely coconut notes.
That is tropical drink.
It is. Oh. It's like vacation in a glass.
It really is. I can smell it. It smells so good.
And so then we're just going to pour, do we have a glass for this? Yes, we do. It's right in front of me. So we just pour into a glass. There I go, spoon. And you can garnish with anything like a little a skewer of pineapple and raspberry. So isn't that lovely?
That
and
is.
It's so delicious, and it's such a pretty color for summer.
It is. It's great. I'm going to smell that because I can smell it from here. So again, we always talk about drinking responsibility.
Social responsibility as a host. If you're hosting a backyard party or any kind of party, make sure your guests are not having salty foods. Stay away from those kind of salty chips because it dehydrates. Make sure that if someone's driving that you have lots of nice mocktails on hand, which is not just eliminate the alcohol. Still do the pineapple juice and some of the other
creative,
things.
but
you can use ginger ale as opposed to a spirit. So always have fun and always be responsible.
Oh, you're the best. Thank you so much, Gillian. We always thank all the folks here at LCBO for making everything look pretty and taste good and good recipes on your website as well. All right, that's it for TERRA at Home. We'll be back with more in just a few.
When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of TERRA. Make your dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.
Heritage Perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Dr. Marianna, and we are at the Monarch Laser and Wellness Center on the Hamilton Mountain. Thank you for letting us come into your space.
Awesome. Thank you.
Nice little cozy place. And so tell me a little bit more about the services that you offer.
Well, we offer both feeling better and looking better type services. So that's why the name Laser and Wellness.
Right.
So we want to tell people that we offer not only medical aesthetic procedures, but we offer wellness procedures. So I'm a medical doctor, and I do offer, you know, people ways to feel better through hormones and that sort of thing. And also I have a naturopath that works here, as well as a massage therapist and an acupuncturist.
Wow. So it's all encompassing, and it's really kind of sort of the wave of today and the future. People are looking for more of a balanced treatment. So again, as you say, you know, going with traditional medicine and then looking at naturopathic side as well. So really you get to the best of both worlds. And then of course you also have, you know, come in and get a manicure and a pedicure, right? So all kinds of great options.
It is a one-stop shop.
It
and
is.
I kind of liken it to everything I would want under one roof. So, you know, women especially, although we don't exclude men, we do encourage men to come as well. We do offer services for men. So yeah, so people might come for one thing, and then you know, it might stay for another.
Well, I can see that because, you know, looking at some of the services that you offer, you can go through and say, oh, that would apply to me, that would apply to me. And again, some of it may be, you know, as you say, from, you know, acupuncture to, you know, some more serious situations that you need to deal with your body, to just, you know, facial treatments, but some of them can be quite, you know, up to the next level as well, right, with chemical peels and things like that. So
I do get a lot of women that'll come in and say, you know, they came for one service, but then they realize that they could use another service. And, and or they might come in because they're not feeling great or optimal, and then they go, okay, I feel good now. Now I want to look better, and so my outside will match my inside, and vice versa. My inside will match my outside.
And I'm sure that you know, your staff and yourself can help people with that, depending on their what they specialize in. Maybe giving people some advice on what they may need. Some people don't know what they're looking for sometimes, right?
That's common, actually. Someone might say, well, I need some Botox, and then what they really need might be something else, right? Because they're suffering from pain and they're grimacing, or they're doing, you know, or and vice versa.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so we want to take a little bit more of a focus on the laser treatment side of your business. And so what type of laser treatments do you do here?
So we do laser hair removal, first of all. I do tattoo removal, and we're the only ones in Hamilton actually that remove tattoos. And we also do a photofacial, which is called IPL. People might have heard of that. So that helps with, so we don't do all types of laser procedures, but because there are a lot of lasers out there.
That's the thing, there are. So let's back it up, and we'll start out with laser hair removal, because that seemed to be a common one, and let's talk about the benefits. So maybe and exactly the procedure and how that plays out, because some people, does it hurt, does it not? And some people say yes, some people say no.
I think it varies. Everybody's pain tolerance is different, but every machine is different. So the types of machine definitely makes a difference. So, you know, some machines are built in with a cooling head, and so that'll offer comfort.
That would help, right?
Absolutely. And not all machines are equal in being effective. So if it doesn't hurt, probably chances are it's not going to work.
Okay, so you need a little bit of a sensitivity.
Absolutely.
Right?
Because it is targeting the color of the pigment. So that's another thing. People don't realize that not all hair is going to come off. So you have to have, you know, darker hair. The lighter the skin, or the different shade between the hair and the skin, makes all the difference. So if you have the same color hair as you do skin, then your body's not gonna, the laser's not gonna see it.
Oh, okay. So it's not necessarily for everyone.
It's not for everyone, unfortunately.
Okay.
And the nice thing about laser versus, say, waxing or other procedures is you don't have to grow the hair. So,
you don't
which is great. So you just need the root present, because the laser sees the root color, and it doesn't have to have the hair on top, which is great for women that, you know, say they're having laser on their face and that sort of thing, because no one
you don't
wants
want to have to be
grow
growing out your stash before you come and get it off.
Absolutely.
That's the whole point of it, right?
Exactly.
So what areas of the body can you have laser treatments? You're mentioning, obviously, facial hair.
Facial hair, pretty much anywhere from the neck down.
Wow.
We don't do eyebrows, because that's a little bit, you know, very finessing. So
it's getting close to the eye, and you want to be careful with that.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
You have to wear protective goggles for laser, so we do supply that for clients. Okay.
So with a particular procedure, I guess it also, you know, obviously eventually we're trying to get to the point where you have less and less hair, to the point where some people have almost none.
Correct.
Right?
That's
so
right.
Depending again on the person.
Depends on the person. It is a process. You know, a lot of people think, you know, I did 1 or 2 treatments and that's it.
Right.
But it's not the case.
And it depends. So I guess also the thickness of the hair, the density. So how often you would have to come back until you're satisfied with
it's
the area?
actually the area on the body that determines when you come back, because certain areas grow faster than others. Like, for example, you know, the face will grow faster than the back.
Sure.
So you might have to come back every 2 months for your back laser versus the face. You might have to come back every month.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. So eventually, again, you get to something where it's growing in less and less. So basically, the procedure is doing exactly what to that root?
So it is stunting the growth of that root, so that the hair is a lot finer, lighter, less visible. And you know what, we can never eradicate every single last hair.
I can't even imagine, right?
But if it's finer and less obvious, then a lot of people will be happy with that. So you know, I never want to mislead anyone and say you're going to be completely bald.
Right.
You're going to maybe have downy, finer hair.
Yeah. But it can be a really benefit some people who
absolutely
might, you know, just some areas that are just need to be get it gone. So basically come in for appointment and then
we offer a free consultation. Absolutely.
Okay.
And people could ask questions and see if that's going to be something they want.
That's great. Now in terms of you know, mentioning that a tattoo removal, sometimes people put the tattoos on, maybe back in the day in high school, something they don't want anymore. That's something that you can do. And again, is it based on the tattoo itself, the size, the color, and that type of thing, or can you pretty much get rid of most tattoos?
I could get rid of most tattoos that were professionally put on, but unfortunately inks vary out there.
Yes.
So I don't know what was put on.
Sure.
You know, ultimately, if it was done by a professional tattoo artist, then usually those are the ones that come off. Those ones that are done in the kitchen or, you know, a kid's basement or whatever.
Back alley.
Yeah, that they put ink on that.
Yes.
Who knows what they injected. Those are the ones that sometimes I can't promise. But it is a process to take them off, and most colors can come off. Green and blue are the hardest colors to come off. So I always caution people about that. Black's the easiest, red's easy.
Go figure.
So, and the longer and older they are, the quicker they come off.
Amazing. So that's something someone could come and talk to you about as well. I could talk to you for the next hour about all your treatments. I think I'll just come for some. Thank you so much, Dr. Marianna. I really appreciate coming to your space.
Well,
and again,
thank you for
located
coming.
up on the Hamilton Mountain, and we'll have more TERRA at Home after this.
When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of TERRA. Make your dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
The Hamilton Spectator, at work, at home, or on the go. Read us online, in print, or download us to your e-reader. Get the Hamilton Spectator any way you want it.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Chef Mark from La Piazza Allegro restaurant in Hamilton, and we were talking about this classic yummy dish that
it is.
Pretty much, as long as you like mushrooms, you can't help but love this dish.
Yeah, this one's a staple. It's a fantastic dish. You know, wild mushroom risotto is just one of the best dishes that I like to make in the restaurant. There's always a little samples left over after, so I can have a quick bite to eat while I'm working the line,
right?
which is
and
fantastic.
You just never get sick of it, right?
You just don't.
It's just good,
you know?
and I love the idea of, again, you're saying using wild mushrooms because you can use, there are so many mushrooms.
There are so many. Yeah, the ones I brought today, I brought some oyster mushrooms with us, and these are rehydrated porcini mushrooms.
Okay, nice.
Okay, so what you want to do with those is you just get them into some water, leave them overnight. Cover them and put them in the fridge, and they'll rehydrate, and they plump right back up, and they got a lot of flavor. Plus, the liquid that you use to rehydrate them, we're going to use that in the risotto as well, and that just enhances that porcini flavor.
Sure. So that's going to have a richer taste to it than these, for example, in the oysters,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, the oysters are a nice, savory, light, velvety texture and light in flavor, where these ones are a little bit bigger, robust. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to make risotto right from scratch on this one. So what we have is we have a skillet here that's nice and warm. I'm going to add a little bit of oil to it.
Now, risotto is one of those dishes that it takes time, and you have to be patient, right?
Yep, it does take time. There are ways that you can cheat and get a jump on it, and I'll explain that in a minute.
Okay.
But what we have here is we have our arboreal rice, okay? So people say, oh, this is your risotto. Risotto is the finished product. Arboreal rice is what you're starting with.
Is what you're using to get that.
So we're going to put that in, and I just put that into the oil with some white onion, and what we're doing is we're sweating the rice. Okay, so what this does is this helps seal the rice, the actual grain itself. So when you're cooking it, it doesn't explode and you don't end up with a big pan of mush. Okay? When I say explode, I mean the grain bursts
the grain
itself.
Yes.
So what this does, this kind of seals that in, and that's all you're looking for is, you know, start browning it a little bit, get a little bit of a crusty outside to the grains.
So that will help keep its texture.
Help keeps its texture.
Right?
That's
Versus,
right.
as you say, just getting all mushy.
That's right. Now we add a little bit of salt and pepper. Now what you're going to do with risotto is you're going to finish it with salt and pepper after you add the cheese and then season it. But while it's cooking, you do have to add salt through the cooking process.
Okay.
And you're just frying it up. Basically you're frying dry rice. But you can see how they're starting to turn brown and getting a little bit crispy on the outside, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Now if you overcook it, they'll do the same thing. They'll burst. But they'll burst now. Okay, so it is a little bit tricky. Just keep an eye on it.
I have a feeling I'm just going to let you make this one for me all the time. I'll just be in a restaurant waiting for you.
So now we have some stock. Now you can use any stock you want, okay? I'm using vegetable stock. That way, you know, this stays a completely vegetarian dish. But of course, you can use chicken stock if you prefer, or beef stock if you really want it to
That'll give it really
robust.
Good, robust flavor, sure.
Exactly.
But as you say, you know, nowadays you have to appease to a lot of people who are not eating meat. So this makes it easy for you in a restaurant to.
That's right.
Don't have to worry.
We're going to add the stock. Now the stock itself is hot.
Okay.
Okay.
You're adding hot stock.
Hot stock to the hot pan.
Yes.
If you add cold stock to the pan, it's too much pressure on it, it'll burst. I know, it's tricky.
So many rules.
I'm telling you, this is why when you see those older Italian women that have those big arms, it's a combination of making this and polenta, because they just stand there all day long doing this, and that's how it comes along.
Don't underestimate them, right?
That's right. Now, it's up to you when you want to start adding the mushrooms. I like to add them in fairly early on so that they cook with the dish and they break down.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm going to put in some oyster mushrooms, and then those are those porcinis that we rehydrated. So I'm going to add those in, and I'm going to add that stock. And you can see how dark it is.
Yes.
A, it's going to give the dish color. B, it's also going to give it a lot of flavor. Now, while that's cooking, I add a little bit of garlic, and this is just some pureed garlic.
Gotta have garlic in there for sure.
Just brings everything out. The garlic makes the whole dish pop.
Right.
Now, what you're going to do is you're going to add a ladle at a time as it reduces.
Okay.
If you add too much stock at the beginning, you end up boiling it, and that's not what you're looking for. You really want the vegetable stock to be absorbed into the rice itself.
Right.
So you want to add it a ladle at a time.
So like, it seems like it's one of those dishes, like once you've done it a couple of times, you're sort of used to the steps that you need to take, and you know the system, right?
That's right.
And then it'll just be a little bit easier. So
That's right. You know what? And that's what I do. When I teach my culinary classes, the risotto itself, once you learn how to make one, changing the ingredients go in is simple because the process is the same. So now, like I said, there is a way of getting a jump on this.
Right.
So this is how it is. We're going to put this one aside, and I can pull over this one. What we have here is we have risotto that we've done the same way without the mushrooms.
Right.
We've made it plain, okay? So it has the salt, it has the pepper, has the onions, a little bit of the garlic in there, okay? And some stock, but we only cooked it about 50% of the way.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Then we put it on a tray and we let it cool. So what you can do is you can take this and you can divide it into 3 different pans and make 3 different styles or types of risotto. But again, whatever you want to bring this back, you want to start adding the hot stock.
But that's good though. You're smart. That's so smart because, as you say, especially if you're entertaining,
if you made this ahead of time, then you're not worrying about, it's really hard to make a risotto while everyone's standing around. It's a process, and you could easily get distracted and mess it up. So at least at this point, you've got yourself halfway through.
That's right.
And now you can do this.
And it, you know, speeds up the cooking time, gives you time with your guests, which is what you're looking for, and what your guests came over to see too. You know, they didn't want to see you standing just in front of a stove all night long.
That's right.
So
No, it's a hard one, but it's such a crowd-pleasing dish, right?
It is.
For everybody. So that's, again, as long as you like mushrooms. If you're one of those people opposed to mushrooms, you have a bit of a problem with this dish, right?
Yeah, and you can change it up. I mean, you know, in the summertime, you do a red pepper risotto. It's really, really nice. You know, roast some red peppers, peel the skin, puree it, and there we go.
Love that. Well, remember that one time you made us the Italian flag?
That's right.
3 different versions
tricolored.
of risotto, a tricolored, you know, so it is. You can have lots of fun. As you say, it's basically just like a pasta. Once you learn the process, then you can just change up the ingredients to whatever you need, right?
Exactly.
Very good. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll let this continue to cook, and now we have 2 versions. We have the one that was already half cooked and the one we started from scratch, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a few.
Sounds good.
When I dream in color. When I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your dreams come true at Terra, where color lives.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're back with Chef Mark from La Piazza Allegra restaurant, and we are finishing up our mushroom risotto.
Yes.
And it's coming along. Now I noticed, again, as you mentioned, you keep adding stock just to kind of make sure that it's not going to dehydrate too much, right?
That's right. And then, you know, you're going to keep adding until you get to the right firmness.
Right consistency, okay.
You know, you still want risotto to be al dente, very similar to pasta. You still want to have a little bit of a crunch, but you know, you do have to cook it down. It takes longer, obviously, than pasta does. So.
Right. Now, is there any way to identify that proper texture without, I mean, you basically have to try it, right?
You have to try it.
Yes.
You have to try it to know. I mean, once you make it, as much as I've made
yes,
it, you'll probably be able to tell. But otherwise, you'll have to try it.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people make the mistake of adding cream to risotto. You never add cream to risotto. That's not where the creaminess comes from. The creaminess comes from the risotto itself and from butter. Butter and cheese. So we're going to put in our butter. And of course, we use unsalted butter because we already salted the dish, so we don't want to add any more salt to that. While this butter is melting, we're going to take some Parmesan cheese, and we're going to add some Parmesan cheese into it. Now, this is really up to you how much you want to add. I like it. I love cheese, so I add a fair amount. Just keep in mind that you are going to get salt out of this as well, so it adds salt content.
And then some people still add more cheese after it's been prepared, right? They
you can sprinkle a little bit on top. Yeah.
Just, you know. Just want to remind people you can get our wonderful recipes from Chef Mark on our website, terragreenhouses.com as well. And but again, I would just be happy going to your restaurant and ordering this and having a glass of wine. Because this one is one I have a feeling would, it takes a little bit of time to learn how to prepare it properly.
Once you get it, though, it is
amazing.
Just absolutely fantastic. So we're going to take that. We have some fresh chives. We'll throw some fresh chives onto this, gives us some nice color.
And that's a good hearty dish. And the best part about it is you can always take it home with you if you've, or pack it away and have it the next day for lunch at work, because it's a good one. Thank you so much, Chef Mark. Awesome.
Thank
That's
you.
a good all-around, all-year dish. Love it. That's it for TERRA at Home. Have yourself a great weekend.